salty, but like not sweet like dessert, but you know, it has that balanced flavor. It's really rich. So 3 more tablespoons. Hi guys, today I can show you how I make Asian beef stew. Asian beef stew in Cambodian, we call it Kaw Ko. For the shallot, I put 2 small ones. You also can put red onion if you cannot find any shallot, and just dice it. Put it together with the garlic. I like to prep all the vegetable first, so this way the cutting board doesn't seem as dirty. So I'm going to put 2 large carrots and 1 medium-sized carrot. Peel. For the large carrots, you can cut them into 4 pieces, like this. If it's smaller, you can just cut it in half. Like this one. This one is smaller. I'm just gonna cut it in half like this. And now we can prepare the meat. This one is beef shank. You also can use beef belly. Beef shank, this one is a lot. I weighed earlier, it's 6 pounds. And you're going to cut it into chunks. You're gonna cut it like this. Beef shank, it doesn't have as much fat compared to the beef belly. Right now the meat may look chunky, but as you cook it, the meat will shrink. So you don't want to cut the meat too small. And this one may be a bit too big, then you can cut in half like this. I like to use beef shank because it has tendon that attach to the meat, that in between the meat and stuff, like that. So that when you cook it longer, especially when you make this type of Asian stew, the meat not going to be dry. It's not going to be dry, and it's going to taste so much better compared to if you just use all meat type of beef. You also can mix half beef shank and half beef belly. Beef shank is done, cut into chunks like this. It's done. So here I have star anise, cinnamon sticks, lemongrass, and also galangal. Lemongrass, I have about 3 stalks, and you can cut them shorter. I'm going to tie them together so it doesn't scatter all over the broth. When it is time to eat, it's easier. So you can tie it with the cooking yarn. For galangal, I put 5 slices. I'm just gonna put it straight into this spice bag with the star anise. Star anise, I'm gonna put 5 star anise, and some of the piece they broken, so 5. Put them all in here. You can roast all these ingredients, but you don't have to, and you just have to tie it up. And for the cinnamon sticks, I'm gonna put 3 pieces. I have 3. I'm gonna tie them as well so it doesn't scatter all over the soup. If your spice bag is big enough, then you can throw the cinnamon sticks along with the galangal and the star anise, but for now I'm gonna do it like this. Now we can start the cooking process. So here I put about 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. When you see the oil is hot, add minced garlic, shallots. On high heat, you can stir it about 10 seconds. And after that, we're going to add some curry paste. This one is red curry paste. This red curry paste, it will help give a really nice color, and also will give the Asian beef stew the slightly spicy. Red curry paste, I'm gonna put 3 tablespoons. This one is soup spoon, so 3 tablespoons. And if you like it less spicy, you just put 2 tablespoons. You can stir them a bit. After you stir it about a couple of minutes on high heat, so the curry paste and the garlic and the shallot, they well combine. Now we can put the beef shank that we sliced. So this one is 6 pounds, about 2.7 kilograms, lots. Okay, now stir. And while you're cooking this, sometimes the curry paste can choke you, and that is normal. You can stir it a bit first so the curry paste doesn't get burned in the bottom. Now that you stir it for a couple minutes, we can add the ingredients. You need 1.5 tablespoons of chicken powder, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Let's stir it a bit first so nothing gets burned in the bottom. Half tablespoon of salt. Okay, let's stir it first. You will need 2 jars of this spicy stew beef flavor paste. So here I have 1 jar. I'm gonna put it right now. 1 jar of Bo Kho paste. So this one is Bo Kho paste. It has the stew picture on there. Okay, let's stir it. On high heat, stir well. On high heat, you're going to cover it for at least 15 minutes, but after about 1 minute, just come back to stir it. So with the meat, after you cover it for a couple minutes, you will see that there will be some liquid. Okay, cover it again. So here, ooh, a lot of smoke. Maybe it's hard to see. There's a lot of liquid that come out of the beef, so you don't need to add any water. This liquid here right now have a lot of flavor and it gives good flavor to the beef. That is why from the beginning, don't add any water yet. Going to let it cook on high heat until the beef absorbs the flavor that from all the ingredients that we add into the meat. Okay, now after cook it on high heat with the lid on for 15 minutes, now we can add water and let it cook on medium heat longer. So for the water, I recommend if you can boil it on a side pot like mine, this one. It's almost boiling water because as I'm cooking this, I boil 6 liters of water, but you need more water than that. Here I have 7 liters of water. Now bring it to boil. Set it on high heat and you're going to bring the broth to boil. But along the way, we can add the rest of the ingredients. But for now, I'm going to put the second jar, the Bo Kho paste. This one is the Asian beef stew paste. Okay, we add the second jar. You don't need to add too much salt. Chicken powder have a lot of sodium, and also the same thing as this one. This one have a lot of sodium in it. I only put ½ tablespoon of salt, that's it. And then I'm going to put 1½ tablespoon more of chicken powder. And here is 3 more tablespoons of sugar. With this type of Asian beef stew, it's salty and sweet. Salty, but like not sweet like dessert, but you know, it has that balanced flavor. It's really rich. So 3 more tablespoons. And then for this, I'm gonna add some liquid in here. I recommend to add it when the broth is not boiling, because when you shake it, if it's hot, it's going to burn you. So to clean it, just shake it and pour it out. Right now the broth not too hot, but if you wait till the broth is boiling, then don't do this. Add normal water. This is how you clean a jar. Add some water, shake well, and pour it all out. And now we can add 3 pieces of cinnamon sticks, 5 pieces of lemongrass. So in here is the galangal and star anise. So 5 star anise and 5 thick sliced galangal. Put them all in there. When you see it boiling, you're going to cover it and lower to medium heat, about heat 6 or 7. And you're going to cover it and cook it for at least an hour and a half until the beef is tender before we can add in the carrots. When you see it boiling, you can turn off the heat. And now we can add this type of noodle. It's the instant rice noodle. And we're gonna let it soak in there 3 minutes. I have a lot of people, so I'm gonna put 4 packages, so 20 bundles like this. 4 packages. You can cover it and set the timer for 3 minutes. Okay, here after 3 minutes, okay, drain out all the water. Run some cold water to let it cool down so it doesn't get stuck together. I'm just gonna pour it back into this pot and run some cold water. And after that, drain all the water out. So you want to make sure that the noodle is cooled down with cold water when you add it to the pot. You only need to rinse it 1 time. And after that, you can pour into a basket, and the noodle should be loose, so when you put into each bowl, it doesn't get stuck together. Now the noodle is done. Just pour the water out. And while you're waiting, you can prepare all your mince. For topping, if you only have green onion and cilantro, that's fine too. But if you have basil mince and if you have sawtooth mint, then you can go ahead and slice them all, prepare them all, and put them in one container. This one is green onion. You know what? This white part here, I'm just gonna throw it into the broth. And if you want some lime, you also can cut some lime. Put everything in containers, so with any leftover, you can always throw it back into the refrigerator, so that way everything stays fresh. And this one is clean basil. I'm just gonna put it in here. Beef ball you add a bit later when you add the carrot. That is when you can add the beef ball, because this beef ball is already pre-cooked and you don't want it too soft. So here you can put the beef ball, one whole one in there, or you can just cut it in half. Or after you cut it in half, you can slice it a few times. And then after, slice it the other way. Because this way when it's cooked, all the sliced part, it will expand like flour. But that is optional. If you don't want to get too busy, you don't have to do this. This is just a design. After cook it on medium heat for 1 hour and a half. The beef should be tender, but then if your beef is not tender yet, you can cook it for another 15 minutes. Okay, now we can add in the carrots. Okay, now turn it back to high heat. And also, because this one is store-bought beef balls, you want to make sure you add it now along with the carrots. Hopefully it's not going to spill. And for the beef ball, you can put as much as you like. This one is about 2 pounds. This one huge pot, it can serve at least 10 people, maybe 10 to 12 people. Okay, we can turn it to high heat and bring it to boil. So here, when you see it boiling, you're going to lower the heat to medium-high heat and set the timer for 15 minutes. Let's put it on heat 8. And after 15 minutes, the carrot should be softer, and the same thing with the beef balls.
Anh đi, miên là sai bên đây, xin ngài mong.
You not have school today?